Hey, fellow problem solvers, Colfax Math here. Today we're working on Math Test Success, Chapter 17. The whole point of this book, these videos, is for you to be as successful as possible on any standardized math exam. You need to have the book in front of you. You could buy it on Amazon or download it for free at mathtestsuccess.com. You want to go through, take notes as I'm going through the video, have the video play as you have the book and you're writing in it. When we get to problem sets, pause the video, do the problems before I do them, unpause the video, and watch how I solve the problems. The only way you get good at anything is practice. So the more practice math problems you do, the better you're going to do on the ASVAB arithmetic reasoning or mathematical knowledge exam. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started with Chapter 17. If you want to support the channel or get videos a little bit earlier, go ahead and join the channel, become a member of this community. Chapter 17, we're looking at algebraic ways to solve geometry problems. So a lot of these are going to be given parts of a rectangle, find the perimeter, or given area of a triangle, go backwards to find the base. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. The first section in Chapter 17 is 17.1, solving for unknown lengths. So here's an example. A lot of this is vocab, and that's why it's also important to review. A rectangle has a length of 2x plus 3 and a width of x minus 1. My first strategy is to take that sentence and convert that sentence into a picture. So it has a length of 2x plus 3 and a width of x minus 1. The perimeter is 30. So that's telling you the equation is equal to 30. Find the value of x and the dimension. So there are actually two problems here. So perimeter are all the sides added together. If that's 2x plus 3, this is 2x plus 3. This is x minus 1. This is x minus 1. So I got to take all sides, add them together. X minus 1 plus 2x plus 3 plus x minus 1 plus 2x plus 3 equals 30. Combine all similar terms, 1x, 3x, 4x, 6x. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 6x plus 4 equals 30. Subtract 4 from both sides. 6x, this is by itself now, is equal to 26. Divide both sides by 6, and I get x is equal to, that goes in there 4 times 24 with 2 left over. So x is equal to 4.5. That's what we have there. That's a typo right there. Oh, it's a reduced fraction. No, that's right. That just works out to 4.5 or 13/3. I have a value for x. That is not my solution. That is my value for x. I take that value, I plug it in there. 4.5 minus 1 is 3.5. Now I also take it in, plug it in here. 4.5 times 2 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. So my two sides, my length is 12 and my width is 3.5. There's a lot to that problem. First, translating the sentence to a picture, then figuring out what the equation is, solving that equation, taking that solution, plugging it back in. Take a look at another one. Again, pause the video and then try it on your own, and then unpause, watch how I do it. A right triangle has a leg. So first thing I have to do is say it is right. That means one of the angles is 90. One of the legs is x. The other leg is x plus 1. The hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle, and it is 5. Whoops. 5. Not a very good 5. And then what are we looking at? Find x. So I'm not looking for sides here. I'm just looking for x. So I have to use the Pythagorean theorem. It's going to give me a quadratic. If you don't know what a quadratic is, go back and take a look at that chapter on it. I have one leg squared, x plus 1. The other leg squared, x squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. And what I have to do right here is this is x plus 1 squared, which means x plus 1 times x plus 1. So that thing right there is that. I FOIL it out. We had a chapter on foiling and opening up. First term's x squared plus x, 2x, plus last term 1. I still have that x squared is equal to 5 squared, 5 times itself, 25. Combine similar terms, x squared and x squared is 2x squared plus that 2x. Then this 25 I bring over to this side. So I subtract 25 from both sides and get negative 24 equals 0. I'm going to pull a 2 out in front, leaving me with a x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. Right? I factor out the common term, leaving me with this. I divide both sides by 2. These cancel. 0 divided by 2 is still 0. Now I have to factor this quadratic. Factors of x squared are x and an x. Factors of 12 to give me a 1 or a 4 and a 3. We have those chapters on factoring. 1 has to be positive, 1 negative, and this whole thing's equal to 0. Let me double check that. I FOIL it. X squared plus 4x minus 3x gives me 1x minus 12. That's right. Now I have the zero sum property. Either x plus 4 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. Solving for x, x is equal to negative 4. Adding 3 to both sides, x is equal to 3. Two solutions. I take that negative 4, plug it in. You can't have a length of negative 4, doesn't make sense. So I cross it out. 3 plus 4, that works there. And again, we are finding the value of x. So the correct answer is 3. A lot there. I mean, we're really using every previous chapter and coming up with these problems here. Okay, here's our next. Solving for angles. So this is a lot about complementary, supplementary, that vocab from previous chapters. Let's take a look at these. Two angles are complementary. Again, I remember C comes before S. So 90 comes before 180. So complementary are angles that add to 90. One angle is 2 times the other is 3x plus 10. One angle is 2x, the other is 3x plus 10. And I know they are complementary or they go to a right angle. Find x and the angle. So here we have a few different answers. We need 3 answers, x and then the 2 angles. These 2 angles add up to 90. So I have 3x plus 10, one of the angles, plus the other angle equals 90. I combine similar terms. 3x and 2x is 5x. I subtract 10 from both sides, and I get 5x is equal to 80. X is equal to 16. I have my first answer, 16. Now I need to find the angles. I take that value, I plug it in there. 2 times 16 is 32. I could do 32 from 90, gives me 58. Or I could take 16 and plug it in there to get 48 plus 10, 58 degrees. Okay, there's another one, finding angles. 2 angles are supplementary. Again, supplementary means they add up to 180. One angle is 4x, and the other is 2x plus 30. So one angle is 4x, the other is 2x plus 30. Find x and the angles. So they are supplementary, they add to 180, so I have 4x plus the other angle, 2x plus 30 equals 180. Again, first thing I want to do is take that sentence, convert it into a picture, take that picture, convert it into an equation, solve that equation, plug the values back in, reread the question, and make sure I'm solving for the correct things. So next step is combine similar terms. 4x and 2x is 6x. Subtract 30 from both sides. 6x equals 150. Divide both sides by 6. X is now by itself. 150 divided by 6 is 25. Again, not my solution, only a part of my solution. I take that value, plug it in here. 4 times 25, 100. This would have to be 80, but let's check it. 25 times 2, 50, plus 30, 80. The two angles are supplementary. Okay, let's move on a little bit here. Finding area. Remember, area of a rectangle is base times height, or length times width. And as we read this, a length of this and a width of this, and it's giving you the area. It's not asking for the measurements, it's only asking you for x. So I have a rectangle where this is x plus 5. This is x. I'm not talking about perimeter. I'm talking about area. This is a really common ASVAB style problem. So I have x times x plus 5 is equal to the area of 24. Again, same strategy, sentence to picture, picture to equation, solve equation. I have to distribute this to get x squared plus 5x equals 24. Subtract 24 from both sides. X squared plus 5x minus 24 is equal to 0. I recognize that as a quadratic. I'm looking for the factors of 24 that multiply together give me 24, but add together to give me a 5. 24 and 1 won't work. 12 and a 2, that would give me a 10 or 14. That doesn't work. 8 and a 3 does give me a 5. So I factor this to x. X has to be an 8 and a 3. Either one's positive negative, or negative positive give me a negative. This is larger, so this has to be positive. This negative. Again, the check is to FOIL it, x squared plus 8x minus 3x, giving me that 5x minus 24. X plus 8 could equal 0, right? Either this equals 0 or this equals 0, or x minus 3 is equal to 0. Here, x is equal to negative 8. I'm going to discard that because you can't have a negative length, so that negative 8. Here, x is equal to 3. That works. Find x. That's it. So my correct answer is 3. Okay, let's do another example here. Again, pause the video, do this problem. Don't read through the explanation. But the area of a triangle has a base of 2x and the height of x plus 2, and the area is 20. Find x. So I have base times height divided by 2 or multiplied by a half is equal to my area 20. Cross multiply, or multiplying both sides by 2. These cancel, and that gives me equal to 40. Distribute this quantity here. Distribute this through the quantity. 2x squared plus 4x equal to 40. Nice 4 there, huh? Okay, I could divide both sides by 2 right now, or I could factor it out. I think I'll divide both sides by 2. That's going to give me x squared plus 2x equals 20. Subtract 20 from both sides. All right, 40 divided by 2 is 20. Minus 20 from both sides, set it equal to 0. I'm going to move up here. Factors are x and an x. It's all equal to 0. factors of 20 to give me a 2 would be a 5 and a 4. No, that's not going to work. I don't think it's going to factor. So then we have to use a quadratic equation. With that quadratic equation, I have it set equal to 0 here. So I always try to factor first. It doesn't factor. Then we go to that quadratic equation. We did that on a previous chapter. It's pretty hard. But I'm going to go x is equal to negative b, negative 2 plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, and a is 1. That's going to give me negative 2 plus or minus. This is negative, negative, positive. 84, all divided by 2. 84 is going to be, what is that? 9 is 81, a little bit more than 9. So you're going to have negative 2 plus a little bit more than 9, like negative 7 divided by 2. That's going to give you the 3.4. Negative minus a negative is going to give you a negative. You don't have to do that one. You just discard that answer. A lot of information here. These are hard problems. All right, 17.4, finding volume. Volume is going to be base area times height. So our first example is a cube. So a cube is a square with the same depth, right? So everything's the same length. It has a side of x plus 1, and the volume is 27. Find x. So I have x plus 1 times x plus 1 times x plus 1 equals 27. So I have x plus 1, quantity cubed equals 27. I could take the cube root of both sides. That and that'll cancel, giving me x plus 1. Cube root of 27 is saying what? Times itself equals 27. That's going to equal 3. Subtract 1 from both sides, x is equal to 2. Correct answer, because we're only looking for x is equal to 2. We plug it in and see 2 plus 1, 3, times 3, 9, times the depth of 3, 27. Okay, here's another example right here. We're going to do x times x minus 2 times 4 to get a volume of 32. First, I distribute that 4 times the x to give me 4x equals 32. From there, I divide both sides by 4 to give me x times x minus 2 equals 32 divided by 4. I distribute that x through the quantity, x squared minus 2x equals 8. Recognize it as quadratic, subtract 8 from both sides. Factors of 8 to give me a 2 or a 4 and a 2. The 4 has to be negative. Double check x squared minus 4x plus 2x gives me negative 2x. X could equal 4 or negative 2. I discard that negative 2, doesn't make sense. Here we are only finding x. Correct answer is 4. Okay, combining geometry and algebra. A circle has a radius of x. So from the center out is x. And the area is 16 pi. Find x. Well, area is equal to pi r squared. And I know the area is 16 pi. So I'm going to plug that x in there. So 16 pi is equal to pi r squared. And again, r and x are the same. So 16 pi equals pi r squared. Divide both sides by that pi. My pi's cancel. 16 is equal to x squared. I take square root of both sides. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 16 is 4, negative 4. Can't have a negative length, so you discard it. Correct answer is 4 right there. All right, here's the test right here. Go ahead and pause the video, work your way through this test, unpause the video, and watch how I do it. These are pretty hard. All right, let's go over this test on chapter 17, solving for length and angles. A rectangle has a length of 3x and a width of x plus 2. Remember, we're converting the sentence to a picture, then the picture to an equation. If the perimeter is 40, so all the way around, so 3x plus 3x is 6x, x plus 2, and another x plus 2, so that'll be 2x plus 4 is 40. Once we have our equation, we're combining similar terms and then isolating the variable x. This is 8x equals, subtract 4 from both sides, 36. X is equal to 4, goes in there at 32 with 4 left over. 4 and 4/8, that reduces to 4.5. Reread the problem. I am looking for the value of x. I have the value of x right there. Number 2, a right triangle has legs of x and x plus 2 and a hypotenuse of 10. It's telling you it is a right triangle, so there's a little box there. It also tells you when it's a right triangle, the Pythagorean theorem works. Problem to picture, picture to equation, Pythagorean theorem, x squared plus the other leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. This is a little tricky here because this right here is x plus 2 times itself. So x plus 2 times x plus 2. So that's that portion of it. And then the other portion, 10 squared is 100. And then I still have that x squared out front. So then I'm going to have that blue x squared out front. I have to FOIL this out first. Outer 2x, inner 2x, last 4 equals 100. Now I have 1x squared plus another x squared, 2x squared, plus 4x. Subtract 100 from both sides. Negative 96 equals 0. Divide both sides by 2. Those will cancel, give me x squared plus 2x. Half of 96 is 48, so minus 48. 0 divided by 2 is 0. And this is x squared. Now I factor this. Quantities x squared are x and an x. 48, what times itself? To get 48, 16 and a 3. 8 and a 6 will give me that 2. One has to be negative, one positive. The larger one is positive. So x can equal negative 8, or it can equal positive 6. Discard that negative. Only solution that works is 6. Problem number 3, two angles are complementary. That means they add to 90 degrees. One angle is 3x. The other angle is x plus 20. And then I know the two of them together are complementary, adding to 90. From problem to picture, picture to equation, x plus 20 plus 3x equals the sum of that, 90. Now that I've got my equation, I need to isolate my variable x, combine similar terms. X and 3x is 4x. 90 minus that 20 is 70. X is equal to 70 divided by 4. 35 is half. 17 and a half is half of that. Then I recheck the question, find the value of x, and I've done that. Okay, number 4, from problem to picture. A rectangle has a length of x plus 4 and a width of x. Find the area. So the last one was perimeter. This one's area. So it is base times height. And the area is equal to 45. Problem to picture, picture to equation. And then solve the equation. So this is 45. I have to distribute that x through the quantity. to get x squared plus 4x. Right, this going through here. Pen won't give me a 45, is equal to 45. I recognize that as a quadratic, x squared plus an x plus a term. I have to set it equal to 0. X squared plus 4x minus 45 from both sides. Now that that quadratic's set equal to 0, then I solve by factoring. Only factors of x squared are x and an x. I'm looking for factors of 45 that multiply together to give me 45, but add or subtract to give me a 4. That would be a 9 and a 5. One has to be negative, one positive. This is positive, so the larger one has to be positive, this one negative. Then with the zero-sum property, either x plus 9 is equal to 0, or x minus 5 is equal to 0. X equals negative 9, or x equals 5. Doesn't make sense to have the length in the negative, so this doesn't work. Answer is 5. Reread the question. All we need to do is find x. Solution is 5. We don't need to plug it back in. Okay, number 5. Triangle has a base of 3x and the height of x. The area is 24. We don't know if it's the right triangle, but it doesn't matter because we have base and height. Area is equal to base times height divided by 2. Right? Base times height divided by 2 is the area. X times 3x is 3x squared. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of that. I do that to the left, I have to do it to the right. 3x squared equals 48. Divide both sides by 3. X squared is equal to 16. X is equal to the square root of 16. 4, negative 4. I discard the negative. My solution is 4. And again, I don't need to find sides of the triangle. I just need to find x. So my solution is 4 right there. Let's move this up. Do a couple more here. A cube has a side of x plus 2. So I have a cube, which is a square that goes a square deep. All sides are the same. So I have x plus 2 times x plus 2 to find that area, times x plus 2 to find the depth. So volume is base area times depth. So I have x plus 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 2. X plus 2 cubed is equal to 64. I could just take the cube root of each. So I take the cube root of something cubed. These cancel. I do that to the left. I also have to take the cube root of 64. What this is saying is what times itself is 64. So 4 times 4 is 16, times 4, 64. So x plus 2 is equal to 4. Subtracting 2 from both sides, x is equal to 2. And again, we're not finding the sides or anything else. We're just finding x. X is equal to 2. All right, let's do a circle problem. A circle has a radius of x. The circumference is 10 pi. So the equation for circumference is 2 pi r. But I know that r, radius, is equal to x. So I have 2 pi times radius, which is x. And it is equal to 10 pi. Solve for x. So I have to get, this is 10 pi right here. So this is 10 pi. I have to get x by itself. So I divide both sides by 2 pi. These are going to cancel. That's x by itself. Pi divided by pi cancels. 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. Okay, let's take a look at another couple circle ones. Similar, the circle has a radius of x, and the area is 25 pi. So the equation for area is pi r squared, but r is x, so I have pi x squared is equal to the given area 25 pi. Solving for x, I divide both sides by pi. That gives me x squared. x squared equals 25, x is equal to 5. All right, just two more. Square has a length of x. The area is 81. X squared is equal to 81. That's a square. Square root of both sides, x is equal to 9. And last one right here, number 10, a square has a length of x. The perimeter is 48. So that means x plus x plus x plus x. 4x is equal to 48. Divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 12. If you made it this far, well done. Thank you for watching. New to the channel, think about subscribing.